Will you be a positive ripple effect in your community? Well, does this sentence make sense to you? You cannot be in a state of growth and defense at the same time. If you understand that, then you are a brain snob. Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Ann Homick, and welcome to Brain Snob, episode 40. Wow. So I want everybody to be a brain snob. It's not an insult to be a brain snob. It's a high compliment. It means you know a lot about the brain so you can give yourself amazing life experiences. After all, a burdened brain is lost talent, not to mention a disease magnet. But a performing brain can change the world. Your brain makes your body so you can make your life. The brain is the master system, so let's start at the top. When you come to the office, you'll get your BFA template, which is Brain First Always, and on that template it gives you the steps to boosting your brain so you can become a brain snob. And it also included is the BFA roadmap for the healing journey. And everybody's on a journey of some sort. Let's make it a healing one, so it's always exciting. But you cannot be in a state of growth and defense at the same time because they're just incompatible. This is the safety stability portion of my little graph here. You can get a copy of this when you come into the office, but this is safety and stability, and over here is fight or flight, and over here is freeze or faint. These are the mental and physiological responses, reactions when you're in a state of stress. And if you're in it too long, your resilience is going to go down, your reserves are going to run out. We want to reset promptly and get back to this top portion of the diagram, which is the safety and stability portion. You need to live your life with as much stability as you can give it. Stress happens. We live in a world with ups and downs, and our body is meant to accommodate it, but it's not meant to be ongoing, chronic, just no rest. When there's no time for rest and recuperation, then the cells are going to eventually become exhausted, and that's when your reserves are gone. So I always go straight to the negativity of it, and I shouldn't do that, but I want people to realize that the time is now. Your health 10 years from now starts now, right this very instant. So I'm always looking at the future. Your future depends on what you do today. And you can start the healing today, and you can protect yourself for tomorrow. And that's the whole point of understanding. Growth and defense are incompatible. They can't coexist, and we've got to find that balance so things can be more beneficial for you. And so the fight or flight portion of the graph, that's when people tend to come to me. They are in such a high state of stress that they are sick, they're in pain, they focus on their pain, and they lose the sight of the fact that time is necessary for healing, and also understanding how you got there. Because how you got there is what's going to heal you, but we have to put it in the reverse. So if your diet got you there, if a bad diet made you sick, then we got to reverse it and get a good diet as a routine. If your stress made you sick, we've got to do the opposite of that stress. If it's a work problem, you've got to do something about that work problem. If it's a family problem, you've got to do something about that family problem. You have to go in the reverse. So whatever the problem is, do that. Easier said than done. That's why you need help. You need support, for one thing. You need the psychological support of friends and family, and you need a good listener. So hopefully that's me there at the chiropractic office, because your stress has such an impact on your life right here. And sometimes we laugh about it, we make jokes, we ignore it, we say, oh, I'm so stressed, I'm stressed up to here, and ha 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 ha, so is everybody else. But you only have control over yourself. Other people are stressed, yes, and I think I made a video about that. I said if more than one person has an impaired brain and they get together, then there's a lot of impairment going on. So we need to be that ripple effect in the community so you can help undo that brain impairment, that brain damage, so people can think better. Remember, if you're stressed, your prefrontal cortex is deprived of blood flow. You can't make good, healthy decisions when you're in that state. So we've got to work back to that. We've got to get you back into the safety and stability zone of the diagram. Remember, you can get a copy of this in the office, and we can talk about it in more thorough details, how to pinpoint where you are and where we can make that better. Here's a funny question for you. Do you freak out when you see the flashing lights of a police car? I used to. If I saw flashing lights in my rear view mirror, I just immediately went into fight or flight. The heart is racing, I'm like, my whole body's shaking, and that's the limbic system. And for a while I was in limbic lock. That was me long time ago. Why? Because I got 2 speeding tickets about 2 or 3 months apart and had to deal with that, paying the fines, and then being considered an unsafe driver, and that I needed to take these safety courses in order to reduce the points on my license. Well, I just bit the bullet and dealt with it. I don't even remember my insurance rates going up that much, and but I did instantly, after that second ticket, say, I got to keep my foot off the gas, and I've been good. But during the few years after that, every time I was on the highway and I saw flashing lights, I went into this hyperactive state of, this hyper arousal state, until that police car passed me and all was good. I wasn't being pulled over because I'd be looking, am I speeding? Am I speeding? No, I'm not. Over time, that response melted away, and that's what we want to do with the nervous system. We want to retrain the nervous system, extinguish some of the unproductive responses, and I can tell you now, I can look at a police car and I'm fine. I don't have that guilty conscience. I'm not assuming they're after me. It's not about me. It's not always about me. So sometimes we have to get out of that, I would say that over focus on yourself sometimes, and because that puts us in funny situations where we are overly stressed. But once I realized I'm not the one breaking the law because I've been extra careful, and even that extra carefulness is ingrained in my nervous system. I know to stop my foot at a certain level on the gas pedal. I don't punch it. I don't do that anymore. So that was me teaching my nervous system. It takes time, it takes repetition, and now I don't have that heart attack feeling when I see a police car with lights in my rear view mirror. That's just a quick example of the fight or flight, and we don't want to be so extreme that our body just gets exhausted from having responses like that. So what are the police lights in your life? What makes you get into this stressful state? If you can figure that out, you can retrain your nervous system. You can also use the BFA techniques in order to speed up the learning process and putting health back into your body. What are the BFA techniques? I have 3 doorways I ask people to walk through. We talk to the brain, we feed the brain, and we move the brain. And those are the 3 things that we incorporate in chiropractic care to make the brain be more conducive to new learning and to staying on top of the healing response we want out of the body, at the same time reducing the inflammatory response that harms the body, especially over time, because a lot of inflammation is below the surface. You don't feel it. Joint inflammation, people come to me and talk about that. They talk about the joint inflammation, how fatigued they are, and they also have the other criteria that I look for: pain and stiffness in the joints, high blood pressure, is one, brain fog with an anxiety over that brain fog, digestive disturbances, and lack of energy. These are the 5 clues that we need to work on a brain first always approach. So we move the brain, we feed the brain, and we talk to the brain. Because if you're not moving, you're not going to have good healing, and the brain isn't going to respond to stimulus correctly. If you're not feeding your brain properly, then your brain can't react. It needs energy. If you're not energizing your brain, it's not going to respond the way you want to at the crucial moments. And how you talk to your brain matters. And we focus on that as well. And we, sorry, I keep saying and because, I don't know, it's just it's a thing I do when I'm trying to make a video. We talk to our brain in such a way that promotes the prefrontal cortex so you can stay organized, so you can be on task, so you can look at your life in a rational way, because sometimes that fight or flight response is irrational. The brain doesn't know the difference. If you're at a scary movie and you're screaming your head off because of the scenes, your brain thinks it's real. Your body's going to react as if it's real. So you know differently, and that's why we go to movies. We like that energetic outlet and get the frustration out of our system. So sometimes a scary movie is helpful when you're overstressed. It gets your mind off of your problems. But take a look at the BFA protocol. Come and get some chiropractic care and learn how we put it all together so that you can be that ripple effect in your community, and so that you understand you cannot be in a state of growth and defense at the same time. Let's look at the defense end and see where we can improve it. Get you back to growth, get you back to homeostasis and balance. And how do we do that? Well, we watch the videos here on the YouTube channel, and you put your comments in the comment box, start a good discussion, hit the like button right now, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and don't forget that bell so you know when the new videos are coming. Go to my blog, it's called createpurpose.com. You can read articles there. Watch the orientation video. That's a real important one to do. And be a brain snob so you can be that positive ripple effect in your community. Thanks for watching.